This is Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
If you think paying for food stamps is more important than paying for veterans, you might be a liberal. Around here, we call you an idiot. Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right-wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Kevin Jackson of the Black Spreaker Radio Show. Listen to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
What's going on in your head? I think your brain is gone dead.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Welcome to the show, folks. This is The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. If you'd like to follow along and tweet and interact with us, please do so on Twitter at The Right Mics. Winning the award for the day for the most interactions would be Dan Fitzgerald.
Have we heard from him today yet?
Yeah, we have a couple times. In fact, let me see here what Danny has said. Earlier, we were talking about us being not flawless. He said that he knew better. And then he set this awesome picture of what the Occupy movement has morphed into. Oh. That was about 10 minutes ago. I retweeted that.
Speaking of Fitzgerald, dude, let me tell you what a small world it is. He lives in the town in which I was born.
Really?
Uh-huh. Chicago Heights. I grew up in Northwest Indiana. As you know, the region. I'm a region rat. That's why Rat Nation is named Rat Nation. But yeah, Fitzgerald lives in Chicago Heights. I was born at whatever the hospital there is, and it's my town, Dyer, Indiana, right on the Illinois line. And at the time, for some reason, that's where my mother went to have me. So fully aware of the region. In fact, he knows my high school. So how weird is that?
Oh my gosh, that's totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Dan, would you private message me? There's a few questions that I need to have asked in the town there. Just a couple things that I'm interested in. So I want to talk real quick culture, Miller.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Nothing to do with politics.
Cool.
Have you ever, I'm assuming that you've seen the movies either Silence of the Lamb or Hannibal or Red Dragon or any of those?
I have seen two of the three of those, the first two, and that probably surprises both of you. But, well, of course, Silence of the Lambs. And then, yeah, that was an excellent movie, by the way.
That was an excellent movie. All right. So Thomas Harris was the guy that wrote the series. His first book was Red Dragon that was a movie with William Peterson probably 20 years ago. And then Silence of the Lambs, and then the movie Hannibal, and then there was a redo with Ray Fiennes, Red Dragon. The movies were great. The books were absolutely stunning. The only books that Thomas Harris has ever written. His first one was Red Dragon, and the guy lives in a little house in the middle of Nowheresville in the South somewhere, and that's been it. Well, for the last 2 years, NBC has had this TV show called Hannibal. Did you ever see it?
No, but I do know that it exists. So
okay,
all right.
It was by far over the last couple of years my favorite network TV show. Hugh Dancy was in it. Mads Mikkelsen, who was in I forget which one of the James Bond. Couple of James Bond.
You know what? I always feel like such a cultural, or at least movie TV illiterate with you guys, because of all the names you just mentioned. The only one I recognized was Ray Fiennes.
Okay. Well, Hugh Dancy and Mads Mikkelsen, you probably wouldn't recognize those. But did you ever see the first James Bond movie with Daniel Craig? I think it was Casino Royale is what it was called.
I believe that I did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and that's the one where they're playing cards in I don't know, somewhere in Bulgaria or something like that. They had this long card game. The whole thing is settled around that. Well, that was Mads Mikkelsen, so you might recognize his face. Hugh Dancy, you probably wouldn't recognize the name, but if you saw saw a picture of him, you would know.
Let me listen, and this is, I do it. I think you do it a bit, but let me digress for just a second. Don't you find that the James Bond movie plots are generally simplistic?
Totally. And, sometimes insulting, even.
Exactly. The one, what was the last one? Adele. The song was awesome. Skyfall?
Yeah.
It's a completely stupid, simplistic movie.
Yeah, the one right before that, Quantum of Solace, I thought I fell asleep during most of it. Oh, another guy that was in the TV show Hannibal, I just realized was Lawrence Fishburne.
I know Lawrence.
All right, so here's the deal. This TV show Hannibal was visually unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I mean, it was by far the most artistic, visually stunning show. Just the way it was, the photography and the set design, and it was weird, man. I mean, some really bizarre psychological stuff. And the TV show was kind of disconnected. It's got all the same characters as the book, but it kind of occupies this weird world in between the movies and kind of connected or whatever. I mean, it is some, yeah, in fact, Jessica's comments, right, has some elaborate murders. I mean, the murders in the TV show, frankly, some of the stuff that they showed, I was surprised, definitely surprised that it made it onto regular broadcast TV, let alone cable.
So is it on cable or no?
It's an NBC
yes,
show.
now you can watch. No, it's not on cable. It's NBC.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you can watch the first 2 seasons now on Netflix, but they just, and this is the whole point. God, long introduction. They just released a trailer of season 3 that's going to be released this summer, man, and it is so good.
How long's this been on?
Well, it's the 3rd season. So last summer was year 2. The summer before, so the initial season was summer 2013. The sophomore season was last summer. It was a summer show. But oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah. Hey, listen,
And
when you watch shows from a network, I think I probably know the answer here, but they drop on Netflix. No commercials, right?
No commercials on
You
Netflix.
could just watch back to back to back to back to back.
See, because obviously that's what I hate about commercial TV. The commercials, I hate it.
Right. Yeah, in fact, there's a couple of shows that I did not watch. Like this year, the final season of Sons of Anarchy. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then because I put them on a DVR, so I'm not watching
Well, yeah.
commercials.
Me too. And then you notice, especially on something like a movie or something that's a couple hours long, how much of that time is consumed by commercials when you fast forward through them.
Yeah, I just decided, even for Sons of Anarchy, which I have loved that entire arc. Two episodes in, I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this because I don't like having to wait a week or whatever. So I'm just waiting for it to drop on Netflix. And what's interesting, one of the things that Netflix and all of these kinds of things have done regarding television shows, and it really started with 24 years ago, is that a big percentage, I don't want to say big, a significant percentage of the television viewing public only watches either they buy it on iTunes or watch it via Netflix, or they buy the DVD set or whatever and binge watch.
It's
So
the
it is
direction of this. It's the direction, man.
right.
We're headed more and more there.
Yeah,
So,
so what it's
so I'm
done.
guessing you watched every episode of 24, right?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it. God, crickets, man.
I don't even know what to say.
Jessica, did you watch it?
Oh, I saw like the first season and a half, and then I just, cause like, okay, there's no way this can take place in 24 hours. Sorry, I can't deal with this.
Anyway, Housen, yeah.
So I would say it was probably, oh gosh, I was living in Newport Beach at the time. So this was, so we're talking 8 or 9 years ago. I watched the first season of 24, and I would bet that I watched 6 or 7 episodes in the first shot. I mean, I remember it's like 3:30 in the morning, the little countdown, beep, 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 and the time runs out, and it's like, well, nope, putting in another disc.
Wow.
But what's happened is that all of these TV shows have been the writing and the way episodes begin and end are all done now with an eye on the people that are not just watching, every Thursday night at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
That they're on, it's Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the viewer's been watching for 6 hours because that's the way a lot of people do stuff. Anyway, if we talked about with Jen, we talked about House of Cards yesterday. That is the best thing going. So definitely watch that. But I would also say, if you're looking for psychological, bizarre, artistically creative. That's the word I'd have to say. I'd have to say visually, it's the most artistically creative show I've ever seen, layered in with the craziness of Hannibal Lecter. That's just amazing.
And I love that whole concept. I loved, the whole Hannibal Lecter thing. So, and I know I would like it. I know I would like House of Cards. I just have just a long time not watched. Dude, I think the last thing that I watched religiously, and I've seen every episode at least once, was The Sopranos. I just absolutely loved that.
Right.
I did watch Revolution. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's on ABC. It got kind of goofy after a while, but the concept I just loved, and I really liked the characters, Billy Burke's character and the whole bit. And then the bastards cancel it. So, then I didn't like that. So I don't know. I just had this thing about TV.
Right. No, I get it. Now, in Hannibal, in Silence of the Lambs, Lecter's already in jail.
Right.
But it's making reference to the fact that he was a world-renowned psychologist previously, and then he got put in jail because he killed somebody. Well, the TV show is Hannibal Lecter is a psychologist, and he's working closely with the FBI to solve crimes. So it's a prequel to all of the it's a prequel to Red Dragon, and it's a prequel to Silence of the Lambs, in that it's exploring how Hannibal Lecter's interacting as an FBI consultant, while you're wondering as the viewer, oh my God, this guy's actually doing the murders.
You know what? I probably will have to check it out. All right, now,
Yeah.
so listen, okay? We're kind of talking about non-serious stuff here, dude. There's something really important that we need to talk about.
Uh-oh.
You
Okay,
ready?
let's do it. Yeah, please move on.
Cow farts.
Wait, what?
Cow farts.
Cow farts. Oh, they said Kyle farts, and I'm like,
Well, no, I don't know any.